Բարի կեսօր սիրելի հեռուստադիտողներ, եթերում eXclusive plus Auto World-ը, դες հետ Anush Hovsepyan, շնորհակալություն, որ այժմին մեզ հետ եք եւ դες շաբաթ օրը անցեկացնում մեզ հետ։ Շնորհիվ eXclusive գլխավոր աջակից Auto World-ի եւ մյուս գործընկերների ում գովազդները դուք կտեսնեք դաթարի ժամանակ eXclusive-ը շարունակում է դες ներկայացնել բացառիկ դեմքեր եւ թեմաներ։ Իդեպ Auto World-ը շարունակում է գործել 24611110 հեռախոսահամարով եւ հատուկ ծրագրային մնացել է ընդամենը 2 օր, դա այդպես որպես ակնարկ եւ սիրով ուզում եմ դες ներկայացնել այսօրվա eXclusive plus Auto World-ի հյուրին։ Այսօր eXclusive plus Auto World-ի հյուրն է Գլենդելի այժմյան քաղաքապետը Արա Najarian-ը։ Պարոն Najarian-ը արդեն երկրորդ անգամն է, ինչ հայտնվել է, ինչ գործում է քաղաքապետի պաշտոնում։ Նա ունի սեփական իրավաբանական գրասենյակ արդեն 23 տարի։ Այժմ շատ կարևոր պետական հանձնախմբերի անդամ է, աշխատել է նաև կոնգրեսմեն Կարլոս Մուրհեդի հետ, եղել է Glendale Community College Board of Trustees-ի անդամ 2003-ից 2005 թվականների ընթացքում, բայց ամենակարևորը մեր Glendale քաղաքապետը նաև մարդ է, ամուսնացած է եւ ունի 2 երեխա։ Եվ այսօր մենք պետք է տեսնենք նրան իբրև մարդ եւ թե ինչ բացի նրանից որ քաղաքապետ է, նրա անձնական, նրան մոտիկից ավելի ծանոթանանք։ Today our guest is the Mayor of Glendale, Ara Najarian. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Anush, for inviting me to your show.
How do you like being interviewed?
Any way you interview me is going to be excellent. So,
thank you very much. So, how do you like the popularity, but most importantly, the accountability that comes with being the mayor of Glendale and representing not only you, but also an entire group of people, in this case, your nation?
Well, that's a very good question. There's a lot of responsibility when you're mayor. You have your duties as a mayor, your actual obligation to run the meeting, to conduct the votes. But outside of the city council chambers, you have to hold yourself out with respect and responsibility and with very high ethics and morals. The people of the city look at you, and not just within Glendale, but other cities look at you. And they say, well, that's the mayor of Glendale, whoever it may be. He's ethical, he's responsible, he's a smart guy, he's doesn't dress sloppy, for instance. He doesn't smoke too much, he doesn't drink and get drunk. These are all things that people look at you for.
So that's something that you have a certain public image that you have to maintain all the time. How tiring is that? And don't you have certain temptations that you wish you would have surrendered to?
You know, there is not a day that goes by that I'm not stopped, either in the grocery store or walking in front of my office. People recognize me and they talk to me. So that's just during the day. And of course in the evenings, you are invited to many different events, balahanteses and dinners, and there is, life goes on. People drink, people smoke. I really try and avoid that because I think it does send the wrong impression to people that he's a smoker, he's a drinker, or whatever.
So when do you have time to be human?
Well, usually when I get home and I close the door, then I take off the suit, put on my pajamas and my t-shirt or blue jeans. That's when I'm a human. And then when I get out the door again,
that's it.
That's when you're on.
We spoke of smoking and drinking, and we Armenians as gang, we like to drink, we like to party, we like to smoke, and smoking has been a major issue. And you representing Armenians, and you're the mayor of Glendale, that's the diasporan capital of all Armenians. Yes. What do you think of the smoking issue now that, I mean, smoking is a major issue, but then smoking being forbidden right now, taking into account the way Armenians are, we do like to smoke, but then it is allowed in all the, in Beverly Hills and patio you can smoke, not in Glendale anymore. Right. What do you think that's sort of, there's racial politics in that regard, and do you think it's too much? Do you think it's infringement of human rights, basic human rights?
Well, it's a very difficult question. The ANC did a poll when this issue was coming forward. They found that about half of the Armenians agreed with a smoking ban, the other half did not. The whole point behind our smoking ordinance, Anush, is to make sure that someone who doesn't smoke isn't affected by someone else's secondhand smoke. So we tried to be very fair about it and say that if you have an outdoor patio, you can smoke, but you have to have 10 feet of separation, and you have to have a certain number of tables for smokers and non-smokers. I'm hearing that there are some problems with that.
There are.
And I'm hearing from some very well-respected restaurant owners who would like us to adjust that and give a little more room for the smokers,
Right.
but still keep that distance. So we're working with them. We're trying to find that ordinance that is fair, that protects the health of those that don't smoke, but also give those who enjoy a cigarette or a hookah, nargile, a chance to enjoy it.
Because in all the other cities, I mean, it is still allowed, but where Glendale, you know, that's basically what people truly enjoy. And I'm not saying smoking is good or bad. It is what it is, and just smog might be a stronger issue than smoking, and there is nothing that's being done. I mean, there are some things that are being done, but not so strictly. Whereas in Glendale, where someone can smoke out of the window with all this fuels and gas in the air, and then someone is smoking, now that's a ticket.
Right.
Is that, I understand that city has a huge budget deficit and there has to be fines to cover that, but what do you think, because this is a question that many people ask me to ask you, what is the mayor of Glendale going to do about the smoking issue?
Well, a very good question, but I can assure you we don't do it for the fines. The money that we receive doesn't cover the salaries that we pay for people to enforce the smoking ordinance. We want to have a balanced ordinance, Anush, and this was our first attempt. It was a very strong ordinance, and we're going to look at it. I'm happy that people are contacting me and contacting you, and you're expressing their views to maybe adjust it. We can adjust anything we want to on this particular ordinance. I am looking towards adjusting at least the restaurant issue, giving people a little more chance to have their smoke.
Enjoy their leisure.
Exactly. But it's difficult. Other cities are becoming more strict, though. Los Angeles is catching on.
But not yet. But Glendale, where there is the hugest demand for that, that's where they have the strictest
Yes.
ordinance. So the ordinance is being adjusted, they're thinking of it.
Yes.
When do you think smokers could anticipate
Well,
any change?
The important thing is it should be coming up in the next month or two. And if you are interested in the smoking ordinance, please come to City Council. Please email us and let us know what you think. And it's that way that we hear from the community, and we can work on a law and an ordinance that is really the most fair that we can make it.
Do you have special days for citizens to come and express their views?
We certainly do. On Tuesdays, which is our City Council meeting, starting at 6 o'clock, you can come and you can have 5 minutes before the City Council.
6 p.m.
At 6 p.m. it starts.
Right.
We usually have about an hour and a half of a meeting, and then at the end of the meeting, anything you want to talk about, whether it's smoking, whether it's speeding, whether it's trash collection, you get 5 minutes to speak to the City Council, to speak to all of the staff members, and you're broadcast across the cities of Glendale, Burbank, La Cañada. So your point of view is well received.
Will be heard. So
Yes.
if people want to express a point of view and they want to be heard, that's where they should
That's
come.
the very best place, and that's local government at its best, us listening to you.
Սիրելի հեռուստադիտողներ, երեքշաբթի օրերը փաստորեն քաղաքային խորհրդունեն մելուսումներ երեկոյան ժամը 6-ին, եւ եթե դուք ասելիք ունեք, եթե ծխող եք եւ ծխելու հետ կապված խնդիրը ձեզ խանգարում է, եւ ասելիք ունեք, դա լավագույն միջոցն է արտահայտվելու ժամը 6-ին, դուք կունենաք 5 րոպե եւ որքանով որ շատ արտահայտվեք, այնքան ավելի լսելի կդառնար ձեր ձայնը. Speaking of unity, and us Armenians being together and representing a voice, there have been a lot of issues saying, the commentator on the radio made a comment saying Armenians are taking over, they should sell Glendale, that Armenians are taking over the Glendale. Is there certain racial politics being played, and what can Armenians do to basically be strong and represented properly? Well,
I think the city of Glendale, first off, is a much better city now with the Armenian community than it ever was. That being said, we are not a community of angels. We have good and we have bad. Unfortunately, when we hear about the bad, it's usually in the newspaper on the front